Alright, man. It's your boy Homeball 2 times, you feel me? Back in that video, man, for me. Follow the Instagram at Homeball 2 times. Now look, exact space type of talking about you are too loud, you are making too much noise. Now look, man, before I hop into today's video, I want to give a huge shout out to the Most High in general for everything. I'm also giving a huge shout out to myself as well for wanting to receive this good information and give out this good information as well. I'm also giving a huge shout out to everyone and to y'all, man. That literally take energy out of y'all say to come rock with me, show me love, support, you feel me? Bro, we've been growing fast. On TikTok, on my new TikTok page, we almost had 1,000 followers. On here, we growing, we elevating, we learning, etc. You know what I'm saying? Ashe. And I know like this video gonna get posted like maybe at like 12 something a.m. at night. Like I know my schedule, like I've been posting consistently, y'all, but it's just the posting time. Like I've been posting late recently. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But like we know though, time is not real, but you know what I'm saying? I do get it. It's like, dang, he is posting. Like I am posting late, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, but let's go ahead and get more into it. I'm also sending good positive energy, good positive protection, good positive feeling, and good positive energy towards everyone always deeply. Also, you can buy my ebook. It's $10.90. Link is going to be in the description and in the comments. Let's go ahead and get more deep into the video. You are too loud. You're making too much noise. What does this mean? First of all, I want to give a huge shout out to Denzel Washington. Shout out the God. Best actor of all time, hands down, best actor of all time. It's not even close, respectfully. I say that with respect, of course. Shout out all the other actors. Anyways, though, Denzel was playing in this movie, and he said this line, "You're too loud, you're making too much noise." And I want to decode that line and that phrase, etc. Myself, to some individuals, I come off as a very quiet person, right? I'm not a quiet person, but I'm also not a loud person. So what am I? I'm Ali. I am an individual who knows when to speak more, and I know when to speak less. For an example, if I'm in a room of people who have already achieved what I'm trying to achieve, I should probably be doing less talking and more listening and paying attention, because these people have already achieved what I'm trying to achieve. So why am I trying to overly talk them? Why am I talking more than them? They've already achieved that. They're trying to help me. Why am I overly talking? Now, if I'm in a room and I've already achieved something, and these other people in the room haven't achieved something, and they're looking at me to help them and give them some suggestions, then it makes sense for me to correlate and maybe and to say more, right? I'm not like I said, I'm not a quiet individual, but I'm also not a very loud individual. I am Ali. I am that I am my God. Nothing more, nothing less. Ashe. So sometimes, bro, you're too loud. You're making too much noise. You're missing out on key details. You're missing out on information because you're talking too much. All right? You want to know something that gets a lot of women unattracted? When you're constantly talking. Especially when you're talking about something that doesn't really truly matter. Now, if you're speaking some conscious, real information, that can get a woman's attention, right? Some women's attention, it might not, right? I say that with respect, of course. But when you are just blatantly just talking rapidly over and over, the woman can start to get bored. She might start to be ignoring you. Even if she's responding, she's still ignoring you, right? You need to learn the energy more. Is this a good time to do a lot of speaking, or is this a good time to do a lot of listening? You got to know how to flip the switch. Like, okay, this is a good time and a good opportunity for me to talk more. Let me speak more. This is an opportunity I need to not really speak as so much and really listen. And if I am going to speak, it's me asking a question, or me asking, how do I get better with this? Or could you explain this and go more deeper on this? Right? Things like that. You don't want to overly talk. You don't want to overly talk. People can lose respect for you, And not just that, people can start to be disinterested into the conversation. They're just, yeah, yeah, not really actually into the conversation, etc. Right? And it's not very attractive to constantly talk all the time. I'm just going to be honest with you. It is very attractive, but at the same time, it's very unattractive to constantly, just consistently talk all the time, especially if you're not talking about something that actually really matters. Like, if you're not talking about a game plan to make more money, or, real information like, spirituality, eating healthier, etc. Stuff like, if you're not talking about something like that, it's very unattractive. I'm just going to be honest with you. For women and men, it's very unattractive. I'm just going to be real with you. Right? Another thing too, right? You're talking too much, bro. You're telling everybody your ideas. You're telling everybody how you're going to do this, how you're going to do that. Just let your energy show it. Your energy is going to show who you truly are anyway. Right? You think when Denzel was in the process of winning Oscars and he was doing interviews, you think he was telling people, yeah, hey guys, watch this, I'm gonna get me an Oscar? No, he showed it in his work, he showed it in his energy, and he naturally won 2 Oscars. Right? You never want to tell people, hey, I'm trying to achieve this, da da da. You're already in the process of manifesting it. You should never tell people your manifestations. In this time and age, the energy that we're in now, I don't recommend you really telling anybody your manifestations. And if you have, I recommend you not to tell them any more information about it. You might want to take that route. Because when you're telling people your manifestations, you're putting yourself at a risk, because now it may seem a lot more harder or a lot more difficult to achieve this manifestation. Because when you tell somebody your manifestation, you're manifesting your manifestation, but you've also told them about your manifestation. So now they might start manifesting stuff off your manifestation. And this can make it seem more harder for you to manifest and achieve your manifestation, etc., etc., etc. Another thing is too, right? People find it very attractive, men and women, when you do not do a whole lot of talking. In other words, when you do not do a whole bunch of unnecessary talking. I'm telling you, women go nuts when you don't do a lot of talking, especially if they already find you attractive and then you don't do a bunch of talking, right? I'm telling you, sometimes women will come up to you, especially if you're like the low-key guy, you don't really say a whole lot, and you're like, you take very good care of yourself. You may notice women may come up to you. Now. Let's not just, I'm not here to feed the ego. Let's be realistic here. You can be a very attractive man, young man, and women can like you but still not come up to you, right? A lot of times you're going to have to come up to women. That's how the way it is. Closed mouth don't get fed. If you want to eat, you have to open your mouth. That's just how it is, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. But in some cases, a woman may come up to you and start an interaction with you first. It is most definitely possible, right? Women go nuts over guys that don't do a lot of talking, right? Men go nuts over women who don't do a lot of talking, right? You see what I'm saying, right? So I'm telling you, when you're an individual who doesn't do a whole bunch of unnecessary talking, people are going to like you more. People are going to respect you more, right? I'm telling you, I'm not telling you to do these things for respect or to get women attention or to get male attention. I'm telling you these things because these are things that can better you. These are things that can help you with your energy. You're wasting a lot of your energy having these meaningless conversations and these meaningless things that you keep talking about and proceeding and keep going on and on and on about that don't really matter for right? You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors would speak when it's meaning to speak. I'm going to repeat that. Our ancestors would speak when it's meaning to speak. What does this terminology mean? What am I saying? Our ancestors would speak when it makes sense to speak. If there's nothing to speak on, who am I to just speak then? For what? A lot of our ancestors found that very disrespectful for you to just be blatantly speaking and to whom you have nothing to actually speak about. A lot of times we think if we're on a car ride and let's say the radio's not working, we feel the need to spark up a conversation. But in reality, in actuality, if you guys don't have anything to talk about, that's fine. Me personally, I don't want to be around somebody if I feel like we can't just be around each other, not be on our phones, no technology, and just not say nothing. I don't want to be around you if I feel like I can't just sit in silence with you. You want to know if somebody's really rocking with you? You want to know if you're really cool with somebody? Are you able to sit in silence with them? Just sit in silence with them. Are y'all able to just sit in silence with each other? Or do you feel like you always have to continue to keep saying something? Right? You want to know if somebody is truly I'm not gonna say all that. You want to know if you want to know if y'all are really vibing with each other. Do you have to constantly think of something, or is it more of a flow state? Right? So, don't always just be talking, you know what I'm saying? Listening is very important. You can gather a lot of information, etc. People are going to naturally attract to you. Even men and women, they're going to naturally be more curious in you because you're not doing a lot of talking. People love being nosy. People love having a one-up. What I mean by one-up is people love, like, knowing what you got going on, kind of like knowing how you move type energy, right? But yeah, man, once again, shout out Denzel. I recommend y'all to watch his movies that he's been in, his interviews, etc. Really cool, down to earth person, man. I'm acting like I done met him before, but really cool, down to earth individual. From what I've seen, I've never actually met him though. But shout out Denzel. Definitely a big inspiration in my life, right? And but yeah, man, sometimes less is more. And I be having to remind myself, the ancestors, universe, spirit guides, they be having to remind me, like, yo, sometimes less is more. So, sometimes doing less is actually a lot more than trying to do a lot more in some situations, bro. So, just remind yourself daily of, positive energy, etc. But look, man, I love y'all, man. It's much more to love, always deeply. And I could drop the Muslims on the next one, man. Peace.